Meet Pope Leo XIV, the newly chosen shepherd of over 1 billion faithful. But it wasn't just the bells of Rome that marked his arrival. Even the skies, the crowds, and nature itself seemed to pause in witness. On a quiet morning in Vatican City, the world looked to the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. White smoke curled into the sky, an ancient signal that a decision had been made. After days of deliberation, the College of Cardinals had chosen a new shepherd for the Catholic Church. His name, Robert Prevost. Now known as Pope Leo XIV, his story is not just historical, it's deeply human, global in scope, and rooted in decades of service. Here are 5 things that make his journey to the papacy truly remarkable. 1. The first American to become pope. Born in Chicago, Illinois, Robert Prevost's election is a groundbreaking moment in church history. He is the first pope from the United States and all of North America. His early years were steeped in service through the Augustinian order, where he quickly became known for his quiet strength and missionary heart. In a church that has long been led by Europeans, the election of an American signals a bold shift, a recognition of the growing influence of the faith in the Americas, and a nod to the evolving face of Catholicism worldwide. 2. He chose a name steeped in legacy. When Robert Prevost chose the name Leo XIV, it wasn't just a title, it was a message. The last pope to bear the name, Leo XIII, was a visionary reformer who led the church at the turn of the 20th century, advocating for workers' rights and modern social teachings. By stepping into the name Leo, the new pope is aligning himself with a tradition of strength in times of uncertainty, signaling his intent to be both a guardian of tradition and an agent of renewal. 3. He's not just American, he's also Peruvian. Prevost's heart, like his ministry, spans continents. During his years as a missionary, he served in Chiclayo, Peru, eventually becoming its archbishop in 2014. His deep love for the Peruvian people led him to adopt the country as his own, becoming a citizen in 2015. For nearly a decade, he lived among the people, served their parishes, and guided their spiritual growth. It was only in 2023 that Pope Francis brought him to Rome, recognizing his impact in Latin America and appointing him as president of the Pontifical Commission for the region. 4. A quiet reformer, elevating women's voices. In a church long led by male leadership, Pope Leo XIV played a key role in what many see as a landmark moment, appointing 3 women to the dicastery for bishops, the powerful body that helps decide who becomes a bishop. He was clear, this wasn't symbolic. It's more than just a gesture, he said. It's real, genuine, meaningful participation. His words and actions reflect a vision of a more inclusive, listening church, where leadership is shared and voices once on the margins are brought to the center. 5. Handpicked and trusted by Pope Francis. If the new pope's values feel familiar, it's no coincidence. Pope Francis and Robert Prevost share a common thread, a deep commitment to servant leadership, humility, and social justice. Francis appointed Prevost twice as the global leader of the Augustinian order, and later called him to Rome. In early 2025, he made him a cardinal, one of the highest honors in the Church. Many believe Francis saw in Prevost a kindred spirit, someone who could carry forward his legacy and navigate the Church through a new chapter. From Chicago to Chiclayo, from quiet missions to the world stage, Pope Leo XIV brings with him a story of humility, strength, and change. And now, as the world watches, he steps into history. Now, we often think of history being made in front of crowds, people, cameras, and cardinals. But sometimes, in the quiet edges of great events, creation itself shows up. Well, sometimes, the most meaningful moments are witnessed not just by people, but by nature too. Because just as the white smoke rose above the Sistine Chapel, signaling to the world that a new shepherd had been chosen, two seagulls appeared, quietly perched on the rooftop, as if drawn to something greater than themselves. In scripture and in tradition, animals often appear in moments of divine transition, from the dove at Christ's baptism to the ox and lamb at his birth. And here, above St. Peter's, perhaps these humble seagulls were a quiet part of the story, a reminder that creation too bears witness when the sacred unfolds. Tell us in the comments, what do you hope to see from this new chapter in church history? Like if you learned something new. Subscribe for more stories that go beyond the headlines. Faith, history, and the people shaping our world.